Boxing truth here. Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. I had to talk about Triple G as his days in the middleweight division are slowly but surely coming to an end. Triple G is moving up in weight real soon. The time is coming, and the clock is ticking on this Golovkin and Canelo fight. It's making me wonder if these two are ever going to lock horns. The time period, the time frame seems perfect for September of this year. But there's a lot of obstacles, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. Canelo needs to get past Chavez Jr. in what should be a very physical fight that could not go according to plan, seeing as Chavez Jr. is actually looks pretty motivated, looking pretty chiseled. In some of the pictures I've seen him in training, it's probably the best he's looked in quite some time. The fire is back in him. So this Canelo Chavez Jr. fight could be more serious than I initially thought. For one thing, I know it will be a very physical fight. It's going to be a grueling contest, so Canelo might not get away with this fight exactly unscathed. It could be some bumps and bruises that he takes when it comes to this fight against Chavez Jr., but Golovkin, their team are talking about 168, and the move is inevitable, and it's really fast approaching, a lot faster than people realize. Golovkin, he's at a point where it's really not much more to accomplish in the middleweight division. He still has a strap to gain against Billy Joe Saunders, as Saunders is starting to get cold feet or just playing a little negotiation tactic, threatening to move on and actually consider leaving a huge payday on the table where he's actually getting overpaid to pretty much give up his strap and make Golovkin become the only undisputed champion in boxing. Golovkin is going to pursue the date this summer in Kazakhstan, I believe. I don't think it's not even questionable to say Golovkin is not fighting this summer. The World Expo, it'll be a big event. There's a supposed 8-figure payday on the table for Golovkin to collect. They've been a sponsor backing Golovkin for numerous fights going back to his early HBO days. So Golovkin is going to fight this summer. He's not going to let Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya or Canelo dictate his career. And if he's gonna stay busy, he's gonna stay busy. And I feel the fight with Saunders is going to happen. I don't see Saunders going any other direction. He didn't pay step-aside money to avoid Kurtzitzi just to not take the Golovkin payday. He paid step-aside money to get the Golovkin fight. I feel the fight will happen. It'll be announced shortly. Golovkin just fought just 2 weeks ago. Billy Joe Saunders just needs to kind of fuck down, let the fight materialize, and there'll be an announcement forthcoming. I believe for that fight. I believe that fight's going to happen, and it keeps Golovkin busy. It's another significant fight, third significant fight in a row if that fight gets materialized. To going from Dominic Wade, and then he fought Kell Brook, then he fought Danny Jacobs, the number one guy below him in the middleweight division, and now Billy Joe Saunders most likely for June, and we're all just waiting and wondering if the fight with Canelo is going to happen, because I got a strange feeling if it doesn't happen this year, I see Golovkin and his team just not waiting around. I don't see them sticking around in the middleweight division much longer. They've already waited for Canelo for quite some time. It's been over a year, and I don't see him waiting much longer. I see them eventually moving up to 168 with or without Canelo, whether the fight happens this year. If the fight doesn't happen this year, I have a feeling it's never going to happen, and it's going to be a choice for the fans if you had to pick one, which Golovkin significant fight signature fight would you like him to see him in? Because I don't know if in a perfect world you want to see him fight Canelo and then fight Andre Ward at 168. But it's boxing. Stuff can change by the day, by the hour. And it can come to a point where we're only going to be able to see Golovkin in one signature fight. And if I had to choose which signature fight I would like to see him in the most, the Canelo fight will be a great action-packed fight. It will be a fucking fight of the year type of war because of the styles. But not many people in boxing views it as a very competitive fight. They don't see it as 50-50. They'll see it mostly as 60-40, 57-43 in favor of Golovkin when it comes to that fight. I believe Canelo has a good chance to beat Golovkin. I don't know if he can beat Golovkin, but after watching Golovkin against Jacobs and how Jacobs was able to at least last the distance with Golovkin, I feel Canelo could last the distance as well, but he has a way different style compared to the way Jacobs fought. Jacobs, he was using a lot of movement and trying to survive. Canelo's not going to try to survive. He's going to try to fuck Golovkin up. He's going to try to out punch him, outland him, and he's going to try to put some firepower on him and try to hurt him. So Canelo's style may not suit so well against Golovkin, but I still feel he has a good chance to beat him. But that fight, it may not go down in September if whatever happens against Chavez Jr., maybe the fight could warrant a rematch. Maybe Canelo might end up fighting Lemieux if Oscar goes through with his promise on that threat. If Golovkin fights in June, that he'll just take Canelo off the table. But back to my original thought, if I had to choose just one signature fight for Triple G that I want to see him in the most, Canelo's the better fight in terms of action, but when it comes to emotion and a huge build-up and so much shit talking and on both sides of fans of the guys, of the two fighters, there's a bigger story when it comes to this fight. It's a little more personal. It's the fight with Andre Ward. I want to see Triple G. I want to see if Ward can kick Triple G's ass. I want to see if Triple G can knock out Andre Ward. If I had to choose just one signature fight for Golovkin, it's the Andre Ward fight. If Golovkin doesn't fight Canelo, the promoters will say it won't be the end of the world. Like when people ask promoters, why didn't this fight happen? Why didn't that fight happen? The promoters just say, well, that's boxing. Some fights don't happen. Mike Tyson didn't fight George Foreman. Prince Nassim Hamed didn't fight Floyd Mayweather. Felix Trinidad didn't fight Terry Norris. Some fights just don't happen, and it's very possible that Golovkin Canelo might not happen, especially with how the scheduling is shaping up. They're not really on the same schedule. They have to wait for one another. And Golovkin's signature fight could well be the Andre Ward fight. It doesn't even matter if Ward gets knocked out by Kovalev in the rematch. I don't see him defending his titles in a rematch against Kovalev. But it don't matter. Win, lose, or he gets knocked the fuck out by Kovalev. I still want to see Ward fight Triple G. And that's the one signature fight I choose for Golovkin if I can't get both of those fights in Golovkin's career. If it was up to me, I would like to see Golovkin fight both of those guys. But if I had to choose one, it would have to be the Andre Ward fight. But we'll see what happens next for Golovkin's career. He's really on the verge of getting these type of fights that we want to see him in. Different styles. name fighters. And then even if he doesn't get the Canelo fight, it's Golovkin and his team will be fine. There's still big money fights out there for him. There's still the homecoming in Kazakhstan this summer. There's still a DeGale fight. There's still a Zerto Ramirez fight. There's still an Andre Ward fight. Still a Eubank fight out there. Golovkin still has plenty of options in his journey, in his career. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.